So I'm going to make this one short and sweet. So basically this is a trade recap of the trade that I took on Tuesday morning, the 25th of November. So basically I didn't have a directional bias going into the day, and I'll tell you why. So the daily candle produced an insider bar on Monday. So Tuesday I didn't really have a directional bias or an assumption of where price would trade to. So I could only trade with what price action provided me with, right? So this is what I saw pre-London, a couple of hours before London opened. So I got a bullish C2 candle closure at 7 a.m. followed by a 15-minute bullish change in state of delivery. This is basically my A plus setup, right? So I got an hourly bullish C2 candle closure at 7 a.m. followed by a 15-minute change in state of delivery. And then the C3, the bullish C3 opened at 8 a.m. and then it created a lower wick by retesting the 15-minute change in state of delivery. And then throughout that hour, the 7 a.m. low held, and then when London opened, it then expanded higher. However, I was looking for shorts for a brief period between 8:30 a.m. and 9 a.m. because price looked like it was about to put in an opposing hourly bearish C2 candle closure at 8 a.m. where price looked like it was going to sweep 7 a.m.'s buy side liquidity and then close back into its range. And if I did get that framework, and then I would have opted for shorts as soon as I got a 15-minute change in state or of delivery, or if if price just took 7 a.m.'s low and invalidated that long-term C2 candle closure that 7 a.m. created earlier. But because I didn't get that, and because price during London just basically took the high that I anticipated would be the long-term swing point or the bearish hourly C2 candle closure at 8 a.m., because price took that high, I was basically comfortable with taking the longs or joining the longs. I was like, okay, clearly it is a continuation, because as soon as price retraced and then it expanded higher during London, it also gave me a 15-minute continuation. So it gave me a 15-minute um, propulsion block basically, or another 15-minute change in state of delivery. And I could have held for a bit longer because price did end up continuing all the way to previous day's high, but I was content with the profits that I had and the percentage that I had. I just added 1% to the funded account on this trade, and had I taken the trade on GU, it would have been a lot better, to say the least, because it was a lot more volatile on GU. As soon as London opened, price just expanded bullish and skyrocketed, whereas on EU, which was the pair that I took the trade on, it just kind of took its time in order to go to, well, any kind of form of liquidity, to be honest. That's why I didn't have a set take profit. I was just like, I'm going to close the trade as soon as it's at 1%, because if it's a lagging asset and GU just happens to reverse or retrace, it definitely means that EU would have just stopped me out. So I was like, okay, I got my 1%, I'm good, and I'm out of trade. So yeah, I could have held longer, because as soon as I got out of trade at 1%, price retraced into that 15-minute propulsion block, as well as a 15-minute bullish FEG, and then it continued higher all the way to previous day's high. So I could have held longer, but to be honest, I was content with the 1% that I got on the account, and I'm still learning to have patience and confidence when it comes to holding the trade. Also, I did put on a bit of size I did put on a bit of an extra, well, a few extra position sizes on the account in order to kind of get 1% on the trade really fast, which is why I got out quickly, because I knew, bro, if price is going to reverse and I'm adding on a couple of positions in order to get out the trade fast as soon as I hit that 1% target, if price just happens to reverse, and then it's probably going to stop me out if I'm trading on the lagging asset, and I don't want to like freaking tilt or anything if I happen to take a loss, because that's what I've been struggling with lately, the emotional and psychological part of taking a loss. I'm still learning there. I'm still getting there. And also, since this is my 5th funded account that I've bought so far, all the 4 prior to this account, I failed all of it and I haven't even passed phase 1. So really, just to kind of speed run phase 1, that's the goal now, just to get it out of the way. So that's also why I was just like, nah, get my 1% and then I'm out, because I added on a bit of position sizes to it. So I was like, okay, let me just get my profits and then I'll head out. And tomorrow's another trading day. Yeah, I know. I could have held it, went all the way up, but I'm content with what I have. Maybe if I take another trade and I risk like 1% to 0.5%, and then I'll definitely be comfortable with holding a bit longer, maybe a 2.5 or a 3 risk to reward. But as for now, putting on a bit higher of a position size on the trade and quickly getting that 1% up on the account and then leaving the trade, like that also works out for me, to be honest.